Hi, my name is Ralph Braun. I'm a Snowflake Solutions Engineer, sharing a quick video that shows a bit of what's possible in the Snowflake AI Data Cloud. We'll be looking at advancement analytics in the context of a higher education institution that is looking to plan an event for their major donors. They want to use their Donor 360 data to target the right donors and location for the event. The donor data is already in Snowflake, and I'll use Streamlit in Snowflake to visualize and interact with the data. Donor data never leaves the Snowflake security perimeter for this analysis. We'll also look at how a user can do ad hoc analysis of the data with Snowflake Intelligence. Let's take a look at the dashboard. First thing we want to do is filter the data to find the right donors. I like the zip codes we have, but I'm going to adjust the graduation year range. Let's just target donors from the 1990 range. So I'm going to slide that over, and now you can see the map has adjusted. Also, I'm going to change the donation range. I'm going to slide that up. Again, we're targeting the major donors, so we've adjusted our filters. I'm going to go ahead and hide those filters for now. Now we're looking at the map. I can see some summary information across the top. I see the total donors. I can see the annual donation amounts, major donors, the top zip code, and so forth. Let's focus on the map. To start with, I have a hexagonal grid. I can see, as I mouse over, the number of donors in a particular area. There's color coding in here too to highlight where are the major donors and major donation amounts. This is helpful. I'm starting to understand a little bit more about where the donors are. What I would like to do is really drill in and focus on individual donor records. So I'm going to go to this drop down, select that. We're going to go from the hexagonal grid to the individual points. And there I can see. And you'll notice this is now looking at individual donors. If I put the mouse over a particular spot, I can see details for the individual donor. And also note the purple circles, they represent venues, right? So this is going to help us tie together where the donors are and what some of the appropriate venues might be for the event. All right, so let's take a look at some of the other aspects of this dashboard. I'm going to go to the Analytics Dashboard tab. Here I can see some charts and graphs if I want to see a visual representation of the donors. I can see their history over time, donation amounts, and so forth. I can take a look at the event venues. I've got a list of all the venues, but I'm going to narrow this list here, right? These are major donors, so we're probably going to go to a pricier location. And then if I want to, I can drill into a particular restaurant and see more details about it. And then finally, I can see the donor details. If I want to see the detailed information, I can see individuals in a tabular format. I can sort these different fields as well if I'd like to. And I can see some summary statistics. All right, so that's given us a good flavor of what's possible from the donor dashboard. But now there might be questions a user has that the dashboard doesn't address. So now we're starting to get into the realm of ad hoc analysis. So I'm going to flip over to Snowflake Intelligence. And here I can see I have my agent, the Advancement Insights agent. And if I want to, I can ask my natural language questions. Maybe you want to see the top donors who majored in engineering and graduated in 1999. There's my question. I'm going to click on Run. Snowflake Intelligence is going to process that request. It's going to look at the data, the semantic model that I have, and it's ultimately going to develop the query and return the results of those donors that I'm looking for. We'll give it just a moment to process here. And I can see the thinking behind the scenes. I can understand, what steps the model is taking. Now it's executing the SQL. It's got the list, and there I can see it. So there's the top 5 donors. And if I want to, I can even go into details. Here's where I can see the SQL that was executed. I can copy that out if I want it for future reference. And I can see more narrative around what's going on behind the scenes. Hopefully this has been helpful to get an idea of what's possible in the Snowflake AI Data Cloud. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks.